Have you ever wanted to wear a gold watch? Well, there are a lot of people out there who want the style but don't want to spend a ton of money on a fully gold watch, especially if you want a gold watch on a bracelet. Not only is it very expensive, but these days it's kind of dangerous wearing a lot of gold on your wrist in major cities. Today we're taking a look at a TISSOT PRX in 35mm that is fully PVD coated in gold. This watch looks the part, however, your bank account will be a lot happier. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a fully gold PVD version of the 35mm TISSOT PRX with the Powermatic 80. TISSOT were really not shy with the gold on this watch. If you look closely at this watch, everything is gold. Of course, the bracelet, the case, the bezel, the crown, the case back is gold as well. The dial is gold. Everything is a gold tone. Obviously, it's a plated gold. It is all gold. Then the indices, those are gold. The hands are gold. Even the date window, that little surround around the date window, that is also gold. The only thing that isn't gold on this watch is the logo at 12 o'clock and then where it says PRX Powermatic 80 down at the 6 o'clock. Before we go on, I do want to mention this was lent into the channel by Saltzman's Watches. If you are interested in this watch or any TISSOT, check out their website. They're an authorized dealer for a number of brands, so check out their website. If you end up buying something, tell them Watch Chris sent you. So as I mentioned before, this is the 35mm version, so it's the smaller version of the PRX. It comes in at 34.9mm according to my calipers, and then you have a 44mm lug span. That's including the end links, because the end links do not fold down, so they really act as if they are lugs. And then you have an 11.9mm thickness and a 4.8mm crown. You do get 100 meters of water resistance on the PRX, which is great, and you do get to see the movement from the back through a sapphire crystal, and of course that is the Powermatic 80. You know this is a Powermatic 80 because it does have that hobnail dial. That is basically the telltale sign that this is the automatic version of the PRX. Any quartz versions, you get a sunray dial. So there are a few other variations. Maybe there might be a pearl dial that they came out with recently, but if it's an automatic, it gets that waffle pattern. This has applied indices. I believe there's just a little bit of lume on the indices, and then you have stick hands, those have lume in them, and then you have a needle seconds hand that is in gold and kind of blends into the dials. In certain lighting, this sort of washes out, and in certain lighting, it's actually pretty legible. You have the TISSOT logo right at the 12 o'clock, and right above the 6 o'clock, it just says PRX and Powermatic 80. Powermatic 80, which gives you 80 hours of power reserve. It's great movement. It's a little bit slowed down from a 28-24. Basically what that does, it gives you a lot of power reserve that you could put this watch down on a Friday and pick it up on a Monday, and you would still have the correct time. The crown here is signed with the TISSOT T, and of course it is gold plated. The only thing that isn't gold plated is obviously the movement and then the spring bars. I love the PRX bracelet. They did a really good job right from the beginning on this watch, on their bracelet specifically. I think it's one of the best bracelets that you can get at this price point. And speaking of this price point, if this was not the gold version, the 35mm Powermatic 80 on a bracelet costs around $725. This is $100 more because it is gold plated. So they did not skimp on the gold plating. From my eye, there are a lot of other gold plated watches that I have seen that sort of look like they have a thin application of gold. This does not. When you flip it over, they actually put a case back that's in gold. So they are pretty confident that this is not gonna wear off on your wrist. Honestly, there are brands that just put stainless steel backs because they are nervous that it would. So maybe they are a little bit more confident. Maybe, I don't know. And I really love the dial on here. You sort of get a champagne effect from the dial. I'm not saying that there is white in the dial, but because of the pattern, you're getting a sort of champagne color. It's definitely gold, and this is a very gold watch, like I was saying, but you do get a little bit of a champagne color there. You do have a date at the 3 o'clock. It is not color matched, and it takes the place of the 3 o'clock index. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think this would look really good without a date. In fact, I think this would look more like the Vacheron 222, which I think a lot of people sort of liken this watch to, with very good reason. It looks a lot like the 222 from far away. Obviously, when you get close up, you know, the pattern on the dial is different, the case is different, and obviously the bracelet is very different, but I think this is a very good looking watch. And for people who like the look of the 222, that sort of small integrated bracelet gold look, which I think is a really good look, this pulls it off really well, and it's at a pretty good price, $825. You're getting a very reliable watch with 100 meters of water resistance that you basically could wear every day, and it's a watch that you can keep for a very long time. It could be basically serviced by anybody because it has an ETA movement. On my wrist today, I have my Jack Mason. This is the Jack Mason Dr. Pepper, their official collaboration with Dr. Pepper. It's a GMT, and I think it's really cool. There you go. On my 7.5 inch wrist, you get a little bit of oyster quartz vibe from it as well. The integrated bracelet. The bracelet does look a lot like that watch as well. Overall, I think this is just a really good looking watch. I've always thought that the PRX is a really good looking watch. In this gold form, it looks a little bit different, but in a good way. I really do like this. And I think it fits my wrist pretty well. For a 35mm watch, it wears probably like a 37mm watch, I would say. It definitely wears bigger, just like the 41mm or 40mm version wears like a 41 or a 42mm. This definitely wears about 2mm or 1.5 millimeters larger than its said dimension. Well, there you go. Lume on the PRX has never been incredible, but the hands are pretty liberally applied with lume. The indices, they have lume in them, but it's just little strips of lume, so there's not a lot there that will glow very, very brightly or for a very long time. The hands are much better applied. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I think this is a very good looking watch, and I think there's place for this watch. I think there's people out there who are looking for this specific look, this kind of design, but don't want to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to get it, and this gets you there, basically all the way there for around $825, which is pretty cool. This is available at Saltzman's, as I mentioned before. Definitely check out their website. I will put a link to their website down in the description below. If you buy anything from them, please tell them that Watch Chris sent you. I very much appreciate that, and it is very helpful for my channel. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.